interesting new revelations about Roy Moore. This is not about the children that he molested when he was in his 30s. This is about his political beliefs. Now, that's perfectly relevant to the race, right? So the Republicans complaining about, oh, well, stop talking about how he molested 14-year-olds. Okay, fine, here, we'll talk about what he believes. So ThinkProgress reports here, Alabama Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore co-authored a 2011 study course in which a speaker contended women should not be allowed to run for public office, and if they did, people have a moral obligation not to vote for them. Well, to be fair, I mean, you know, what are we going back dozens of years here? Oh no, 2011, that's it. In 2011, he co-authored a book in a, it's by the way, this curriculum is in a nonsense school that isn't an actual school. It's meant to trick people and say, oh, this is the Christian way and come pay for this and then we'll tell you how to, you know, subjugate women and oh yeah, great, let's do it, right? So Roy Moore was involved in that in 2011. On this, like, this didn't get him disqualified. Like the Alabama voters look at stuff like this, are like, oh, women should know their role, right? Yeah, Roy Moore. Oh, the child molestation. Well, that's 50-50, let's think about it. Anyway, look, let's get you to the details so you could make up your own mind as to whether it was really that bad. Well, here was one of the lessons from that book that Roy Moore co-authored, or the course that he co-authored. The title is "The Biblical Role of the Women is Opposed to the Idea of Female Magistrates," meaning women in government. Number one, the woman was created to be a helper suited for men. Number two, she is called to fulfill the roles that God has determined for her. God or the men in charge. Anyway, number three, she is to be a keeper at home. Number four, she is to be the mother of the children. In other words, know your role, literally. And so if you're a woman in Alabama and you're thinking of voting for Roy Moore, okay, I think you ought to have your head examined. But if you want to be subjugated and denied certain rights that every other American has, go for it. In fact, they also in this course criticized the suffragette movement that got the women the right to vote. And what are they doing? Why do they have shoes on? They're outside. Shouldn't they be bare feet and at home? What, get the right to vote? This is the American Taliban. So his co-professor in this course at the Vision Forum was William Einwachter. And so what does Mr. Einwachter have to say about women? He says they are, quote, the weaker vessel. These are not random quotes from this gentleman. This is in the course. He said about women, she's not a warrior. She's not a judge. She's a woman. This is the Republican Party in Alabama. Okay. And by the way, you can prove me wrong. You can show me that it's not the Republican Party in Alabama if the Republicans don't vote for this guy. If you do, you're like, yeah, of course, women, weaker vessel. Anyway, here's more from Einwachter. Sometimes we may have had a hard time discerning the faith, the character, and the views of a particular candidate. But we can usually discern if the candidate's a man or a woman. And so there's no excuse on that one. In conclusion, we've argued that Scripture teaches us that it is not God's revealed will for a woman to serve as a civil magistrate and thus to rule over men in the civil sphere. No. You can't rule over us. We rule over you, says Einwachter. Okay. And one last one, I think from him, yes. The world is in such pressing need for mothers, motherly women, that none can be spared for public life. Why don't you just be the baby machine that we decided you should be and shut up about it? You being in government and ruling over us. No, that's not how it works. And Roy Moore says, yes, Vision Forum, this course, teaching with this guy, wonderful, wonderful. Women know your role. If you're a woman in Alabama, you vote for Roy Moore, I guess you had it coming. And if he takes away your rights, you should celebrate. Yes, back to bare feet into the kitchen, yes. No, me, a judge, of course, I can't do that, I'm weak. Okay, if you feel that way, go vote for Roy Moore. I find you to be pathetic. Okay, strong women in Alabama, and I believe they exist in numbers, will, if they see this, I think we'll get a sense of Roy Moore's true character. Okay, one last thing. Vision Forum, this nonsense non-college was run by a guy named Doug Phillips. But it doesn't exist anymore. Now, wait a minute, they were just teaching the course back in 2011. It's not that long ago. Why? What happened? Well, let's find out. Vision Forum closed in 2013 after Phillips resigned, having admitted to a lengthy and inappropriately romantic and affectionate relationship with a woman who was not his wife. Shortly thereafter, that woman, Lourdes Torres Mantefol, sued Phillips and Vision Forum, detailing an emotionally, psychologically, and sexually abusive relationship that started when she was just 15 years old. Birds of a feather flock together. So there you have it. All the good Christians down in Alabama with their family values in the Republican Party. You like family values? How you like them values? Women should know their role, and apparently so should little girls 14, 15, and 16 years old. These conservatives down in Alabama that support Roy Moore knowing this stuff are honestly depraved and sometimes, unfortunately, proud of it. Your choice, you want to back this guy, that's your call, but then we know exactly who you are. TYT membership gets you commercial-free Young Turks. Download it, stream it, podcast it, get all the network shows, and support independent media. TYTnetwork.com/join.